Well, you may have noticed I haven't been uploading very much over this last weekend. And, well, my plan was to have everything done in the Doctrine and Covenants originally by the end of May. That wasn't going to happen. Too many things came up in May, slowed me down. So then I said, well, maybe I can get it done by my son's birthday on the 19th of June. A lot of things kept coming up in June, too. And on Thursday or Friday last week, I was editing a video, getting really stressed because I wanted to get 4 videos a day like I've been doing, wasn't able to do it, and just thinking about trying to make that goal. But then it came into my mind, and what it was after I had just finished editing 103, and I was looking at the historical context for 105, getting ready to film it, which is also dealing about Zion's camp. And I realized it wouldn't be a good thing if I could get a supplement video discussing Zion's camp in more detail. And then I realized if I was going to make my goal, I couldn't do that. There was no possible way. I didn't have enough time to do an in-depth video on Zion's camp. And then it struck me that these latest goals that I set were kind of interfering with what I was doing. I mean, my original goal was to go through the entire standard works in a year. And that was just for me personally. And then I started this journey here. I started doing these videos and I started seeing things in ways I've never seen them before. Picking up details, picking up things, and I would usually share these in my supplement video series that I do with my reading. And there were some that I wanted to do, but I just, like I wanted to do a tour of the tabernacle. And I wasn't able to do that. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the resources really to get that kind of video done. Now, I did get a video on the journey of Israel through the 40 years in the wilderness. But being rushed, I'd made some big errors on that video. Then I set this goal now, and it really put me in a time where I was really rushing. I was just pushing things out, and I stopped thinking about these things. I stopped thinking about these extras, these supplements that I was doing. And I even said to myself, I'm not going to have time to do any more supplements. I'm just going to go through the Doctrine and Covenants. And it was looking at the history, the time of the Zion's camp. I realized that I can't do it. I need to do the supplements. The supplements are vitally important to what I'm doing here. And whether that's important for the audience or important for myself, I'm not sure, and I don't think it matters. I know a number of people do watch the videos, and some of the supplements get more views than other videos do, so that realization came to me. I don't know if it was just my own thoughts or if this was divine inspiration. I really couldn't tell you. But I have decided to slow down. So the Doctrine and Covenants is our scriptures. The Bible, that's the record of the Jews. The Book of Mormon is the record of the Nephites or the Stick of Joseph. Even in the Pearl of Great Price, Moses, Abraham, these are ancient scriptures delivered to the ancient world. The Doctrine and Covenants is our scripture. This is what was given to us. Now yes, the Book of Mormon was written for our day, but it was written by an ancient people and tells the story of an ancient people. The Doctrine and Covenants was written in our day, not just for our day, but in our day. And this is our story. And it doesn't matter when you joined the church. If you joined the church yesterday, or if you were raised in the church and you're 90 years old and you remember, it doesn't matter. Whenever you become a member of this church, the Doctrine and Covenants becomes your scriptures, becomes the story of your faith. Even though you are just joining it now, it is still your story. And rushing through it like I was trying to do just seems a major disservice. How can we treat the ancient scripture with such respect and yet breeze through? That would be like the Nephites reading the Old Testament and ignoring the Book of Mormon, or just breezing through it. That's like the Christians reading the Old Testament and then just kind of skimming the New. We have our scriptures and we must dive into them with at least as much fervor and zeal as we do the ancient scriptures, if not more, because these are ours. And there are things in the Doctrine and Covenants that are not in any other scripture. There are truths of eternity that were revealed in our day. They were saved for our day. That nobody before us had this knowledge. God reserved it to come forth in the last dispensation, the dispensation of the fullness of time, when all things come together and the full truth, full understanding of eternity is revealed. We can't just pass over it. So I'm slowing down. I'm actually going to try and get between 2 and 3 videos a day. Unless, of course, there's a couple of sections still that I have to do in 4 videos, and then I'll do 4 videos that day. Because I don't want to split a section into multiple days. Now, I am doing that now. I'm just releasing the second half of section 104, and I released the first half yesterday, but that's, in trying to figure all this out, I got kind of slowed down a little more than I wanted to. And so, moving forward, today I will still only release the 1 video, and tomorrow, if everything goes good, I will be releasing section 105 and my video on Zion's Camp. Although Zion's Camp may have to wait until Friday, because it's going to be a complicated video, so it's going to take some time. But I will continue doing the videos, and I will get Zion's Camp out as soon as I can. I do intend on doing a couple other supplements as we move along. But it is also true that after 1834, the time between sections increases. So we've had 2, maybe 3 months between sections before. I think there was actually one point where we had almost 6 months between sections, but that was uncommon. We usually had 2 or 3 sections in a month. Now we're going to have 1 or 2 a year. And as we get closer to the 1840s, we're going to have 1 a year. There's actually one place where it skips a year, like a year and a half. Then after the death of Joseph Smith, we're going to have 2 sections shortly after his death. One written by John Taylor speaking about Joseph Smith, and then one a couple of years later by Brigham Young. And that's like a 5-year jump. Joseph Smith dies in 44. I believe this section by Brigham Young is giving them like 48, so it's like a 4-year jump. After that, we've got 3 sections. Well, we got 1 section and then the 2 official declarations. This official declaration 1 isn't until 1890, so you're talking a 40-year skip. I'm not going to be able to fill in 40 years in a single video, really. But I can talk about the issues about that one particular declaration. Then we get the last section, section 138, which is given in 1916, 1917, something like that, so another 30-year jump almost. And then the last official declaration given in 1978, which is another 60-year jump. So again, I'm not going to be able to fill in all the history with those videos. There's just too much. But I will be doing a more detailed analysis of the cause of those. So as we move along, I'm going to try and get some supplements filling in the gaps during the time of Joseph Smith, but after that I'm going to have to just skip a lot of history because there's just not enough time for this project to cover all that history. But I am going to slow it down, so I don't know when I'm going to finish. I kind of wanted to finish by the end of June, but I doubt I will. I'm not going to push myself too hard. We're going to slow it down, take it easy. The other thing, I'll be honest, pushing all my time into this has distracted me from really taking care of my family as much as I should, and I've been feeling a little guilty about that, so I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on that, which is another reason why I'm slowing this down a little bit. But just remember, the Doctrine and Covenants is our scriptures. This is our story. We should know it. If you are enjoying what I'm doing, if you like my videos, like, subscribe, ring the notifications, share the videos. All these things help get it out. We are over 1,000 subscribers, but we need more watch hours. We need more time of people actually sitting down and watching the videos. So if you enjoy the videos, share them. That's what is going to help the most right now, is getting it out to more viewers to watch everything. And if you watch to the end, if you've seen this whole monologue here, leave a comment that just says our story. Let me know that you watched the whole thing. And I'll see you in the reading.